Hey guys, it's Mega Robert from Mega Robert TV, and today I'm going to review issue 54 of Mega Man. So this issue starts out where Blues is resting on a rock, and he's starting to think about all the advice that Mega Man's given him about living with Dr. Light. So as he's thinking about this, he takes off his helmet and he looks into the reflection of his visor, only to see that Shadow Man is hiding right behind him. So he turns around and he starts getting into this fight with Shadow Man until Shadow Man pulls out one of his ninja knives and holds it to Blues' throat. And he goes, "I don't want to hurt you, but you need to come with me right now and talk to Dr. Wily." And before Blues can ask any questions, they both teleport to Dr. Wily's new lab. So once they teleport to the lab, they see Dr. Wily working on all his new Robot Masters, and Dr. Wily starts talking about how, unlike before, now he's going to create all these new master plans and create backup plans for them later. So his logic is basically, if he can't defeat Mega Man in one battle, he's just going to defeat him in a relentless onslaught of just fighting Robot Masters for so many years, and he's just going to keep it up as long as he can. And as he's talking, Proto Man couldn't care less. He's basically just like, good for you, you're the ambitious type. Now what does this have to do with me? And Dr. Wily basically says that, he's embarrassed Thomas Light already. He doesn't need to worry about Dr. Light anymore. But who he does need to worry about is Dr. Cossack. So he's going to use Blues now to kidnap Dr. Cossack's daughter and force him to do whatever he wants. And Blues is completely against this. He's like, no way am I going to do that. I'm not your puppet anymore. I'm out of here. So as Blues starts walking away, Dr. Wily goes, "Hey, you can't walk out on me, because if you do, I'll blow up your nuclear core." And Blues stops for a second. He's like, "What did you say?" And Dr. Wily's like, "Yeah, that's what happened. When I fixed you, I took out your solar core and I put in a nuclear one. So if you try to walk out on me, I can blow it up and the radioactivity will destroy everything in the area." So once Blues realizes that Dr. Wily isn't lying, he does realize that he is backed up into a corner and he has to do everything that Dr. Wily tells him now. So after that, we skip a little while later where we see Kalinka, Dr. Cossack's daughter, at the playground just having fun with her friends. And she's on top of the monkey bars and she's talking to all her friends on the bottom. And she goes, "Hey, let's play princess." And all the little boys are like, "No, we don't want to do that. That's boring." And she's like, "No, it'll be fun." And she's just having a good time until Proto Man walks around the corner and he's wearing a trench coat with Dr. Wily's robot bird on his shoulder. And the second Kalinka sees him, she jumps off the monkey bars and she runs up to him on the sidewalk. And she goes, "Hey, is that a robot bird? My dad's making one of those." And Proto Man's really serious and he's like, "You shouldn't be talking to strangers on the street." And she goes, "No, you seem like a nice guy." And then he bends down and he puts a bracelet on her wrist. And she goes, "What is this, jewelry?" And he goes, "No, it's a teleport device." And she goes, "What?" And the second she says that, they teleport off to Dr. Wily's lab. And the next scene is actually one of the more darker moments of the Mega Man comic, at least in my opinion, where we see Kalinka a little while later locked up in this dark room with all these scary teddy bears around her. And as she's there, Dr. Wily's robot bird is flying around her head just laughing at her, and she's kind of shaking in the corner and she's just kind of whimpering to herself like, "Oh, my dad's gonna save me. He says I'm a princess. He'll save me. My dad will save me." And she's just saying the same thing over and over to herself. She's like mentally scarred at this point. It's definitely a dark moment, and Blues is watching this from outside a glass and he slams the glass. He's just so frustrated with himself. He wished he could do something to stop this, but as long as Dr. Wily has control of that nuclear core, he can't do anything. And Dr. Wily is just laughing at this point. And he's like, "All right, good job, Blues, but I gotta make a couple calls now. I'll talk to you when I need something else." And he's just laughing and he walks out of the room, and that's where we end that scene. So we go to the next scene where we see Quake Woman working on this new geographical project, but she's not working alone this time. She's actually working with her new sister, Vesper Woman. And I was really surprised to see Vesper Woman in this issue because it's the first time we've ever seen this Robot Master, and she's completely new. She's created by Archie Comics. And when I picked up this issue, I didn't expect any new Robot Masters to be in this issue, since we haven't seen an original Robot Master in such a long time, and it was really a big surprise. And Vesper Woman is definitely one of my favorite parts of this issue because she's kind of like Hornet Man from Mega Man 9, but she's so sarcastic and she's kind of flirty and she's this really fun character, and she's kind of the opposite of a Quake Woman, because Quake Woman, if you've read the comic, she had her emotions removed and she's kind of this dull character right now. She's trying to figure out her emotions. Vesper Woman is there to kind of help her with that, but they just rub each other off the wrong way, and it's just so funny throughout the issue. So as that's happening, Quake Woman turns the corner, and she sees Proto Man there, and she gets freaked out, but Proto Man's like, "Don't worry, I'm not here to cause trouble. I just need to ask you for some advice." And he just goes on to say, I've hurt Mega Man, and I've hurt Dr. Light, and I want to go back to them now, but I'm scared I'm going to just hurt them more. And Quake Woman doesn't really understand, so she's like, go to them, If you feel that's what you need to do, just do it. And he's like, no, you don't understand. My core is nuclear. And she's like, what? And as they're talking, Vesper Woman shows up, and she's like, oh, Quake Woman, that's why you turned the corner. You're here hanging out with your new boyfriend. And Quake Woman, she's like, oh, no. And she gets all embarrassed, and, Blues, he's just acting like the cool guy. And Vesper Woman goes up to him, and she's like, hey, what's your name, mysterious man? And he goes, my name's Blues. And she's like, where are you coming from? He's like, I'm trying to figure that out. And she flips his scarf in his face, and she's like, man, you're as bad as she is. Figure out your emotions already. You're so mysterious. And, it's a pretty funny scene until, Proto Man takes his helmet off. And he's like, this is a serious moment, ladies. I need to find Dr. Lalinde, and I need to talk to her about my nuclear core. And Vesper Woman, of course, she doesn't take anything that serious. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll go talk to her for you, and I'll bring her out in a sec. So Blues gets to the front door, and Dr. Lalinde sees him, and she goes, you have a lot of things to answer for. And he goes, yes, ma'am, I will, but right now I need you to check my core because it might be an unstable nuclear bomb. And Dr. Lalinde freaks out. She's like, oh, let's check it out right away. And once she lays him down on the table and checks his core, she goes, this core isn't unstable at all. There's a very low chance that you'd actually blow up and, hurt anybody with you. At the worst, it'll probably just, malfunction, and you'll start to lose some of your energy until you're no longer functioning. And Quake Woman goes, does that mean he's dying? And Blue says one of the coolest lines in this whole issue. He goes, dying? I've been doing that for years. And that was one of the coolest lines in the issue. And Dr. Lalinde says that he's not dying exactly, but he should get a new core before this one starts to malfunction. As she says that, Blue starts to think to himself, man, Dr. Wily lied to me. He said this thing was unstable, but it wasn't. He just used me to draw out Mega Man, but I need to fix this situation before Mega Man even gets involved so I don't hurt anybody else. And as he's thinking that, obviously he's not saying anything. So Dr. Lalinde's like, Blues, are you okay? You should really go to Dr. Light right now. He can help you a lot more than I can. And Blues goes, no, I need to earn it first. And she goes, you never need to earn anything for Dr. Light. He loved you since the beginning. And he goes, no, I need to earn it for myself. And as he says that, he takes out his helmet, which still has the Brakeman mask on, and he takes it and he punches a hole straight through the mask, and then he puts the helmet back on, so now that it reveals his face, and he goes, you know what, I'm gonna earn it by not hiding behind a mask anymore. I'm no longer Brakeman, I am Proto Man. And that's where the issue ends, as he announces his name as Proto Man. And in past reviews, I've already called him Proto Man. I'm pretty sure in this review, I've already called him Proto Man. And the reason for that is just because that's how I picture the character of Blues. He is, Proto Man. But, for the story so far, he has been called only Blues and Brakeman. He's never really truly accepted the name as Proto Man until now. So it's awesome to see that. And this issue was totally awesome. It was so amazing to see Proto Man finally find his way now, and it's kind of cool to see the interesting development of his relationship with Dr. Wily now that he's realized how manipulative Dr. Wily has become and how he needs to stop him before Mega Man can even get involved. So it's a really interesting storyline. I can't wait to see how that develops. Unfortunately though, there's only one more issue left until the Mega Man hiatus, and like I said in my last review, I'm going to make a separate video talking about that, and I'll just leave it at that. So there's going to be definitely another video talking about the hiatus, but question of the day, what do you guys think about issue 54? Did you like it? And what do you think is going to happen in the next issue before this upcoming hiatus? I just want to get some of your opinions on that. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. This is Mega Robert signing off.